There is nothing in the existence which is not yoga. The word yoga means everything has become one. The word yoga means union. So it's a grand unification of the existence. When we say yoga, we are talking about a level of perception where you have seen everything as one. When somebody asks Adi Yogi, how many paths can be there? He says, if you use your system and go, there are only 112. But if you go beyond your system, how many atoms are there in the universe? That many doorways are there. So we gave the freedom to create your own god. There's something called as Ishtadeva. You can choose your god. If you don't like any, you can create one.
Sadhguru, I read your quote on Manas Sarovar. That we have known only like a billionth of what is life, and different masters have written different things in their books. So is there any end to this knowing?
If the ignorance is boundless, the possibility of knowing is also boundless, isn't it? You want to reach a conclusion because that is the way that right now mind is operating, that it has to reach a conclusion. No. It is just that liberation means that you are on an endless possibility. An endless possibility, a pessimistic expression of that would be that you fall into a bottomless pit or you soar into a topless sky. Which do you prefer? It's just the same thing. It depends whether you like comedies or tragedies. Accordingly, we can say it. So, then what's the point? So I'm not ever going to get enlightened? No, you have a wrong idea of enlightenment. Unless you drop all your ideas about it, yes, for sure it's never going to happen. Because you're assuming something about something that you do not know. That's a sure way to remain ignorant, isn't it? Yes? You make an assumption about that which is not in your experience. That's a sure way to ensure your ignorance, isn't it? You don't make assumptions as to what it is. Then what's the point of pursuing knowing, I will never know? That's not how it is. It's not any way you think it is. It is another way, in a way that you cannot think. It's only because of that it seems to be difficult. Why constant stress on devotion, devotion, devotion is simply because of that. Because you can't think it out. You're never going to think it out. You just have to walk into it. And a thinking person will not walk into anything because he's hesitation and hesitation and hesitation. So, we're just cultivating you in such a way that there'll be no hesitation in you, you can just walk. It's easy to walk on familiar terrain. A completely new terrain, people cannot walk, isn't it? Enlightenment means you're constantly seeking new terrain where you don't know how to walk. You don't want to walk on terrain that you already know how to walk. You want to walk on a terrain that you do not know how to walk. That's adventure, isn't it? And that's spiritual process, and that's enlightenment.
Sir, you have mentioned that yoga accentuates your perceptions, and through yoga you reach the creator. That means those who do not learn or practice yoga cannot reach the creator? Is that so?
No, because there is nobody who is not practicing yoga. Everybody is practicing yoga haphazardly. When we when we use the word yoga, we are not talking about a particular practice. There is nothing in the existence which is not yoga. The word yoga means everything has become one. The word yoga means union. So it's a grand unification of the existence. When we say yoga, we are talking about a level of perception where you have seen everything as one. So, you're sitting here, this is a kind of yoga. Just being able to sit in one place is a kind of yoga, and that's what most of the yogis did, isn't it? Just sit in one place. You're breathing is another kind of yoga, but are you doing yoga systematically or are you doing it haphazardly? That's the only question. But you're doing some yoga, isn't it? Your heart is beating, it is a kind of yoga. But is it happening in the best possible way? That's the only question, isn't it? So, if I do not do yoga, does it mean to say, I have no possibility? No. Because yoga does not mean twisting your body or tying yourself up into knots or holding your breath or something like this. See, what you call as myself right now is only four fundamental realities: your body, your mind, your emotion and the energies which make these things happen. So for these four fundamental aspects, we have four basic yogas. This is known as Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga and Kriya Yoga. Jnana means yoga of intelligence, Bhakti means yoga of emotion or devotion, Karma means yoga of action, Kriya means yoga of transforming your energies. Is there anybody here who is not doing these yogas? All of you are doing it. To what extent is the only question, isn't it? So, now we are talking about approaching these four activities which you're anyway performing with better understanding in a more systematic way so that it yields the necessary result. So can there be realization without yoga? No. This is a land which clearly understood God is our making. That's the reason why in this culture God is not the goal. Mukti is the goal, liberation is the goal, ultimate freedom is the goal. God is never the goal. Yes or no? You don't like it because you've forgotten. Otherwise, mukti is the goal, isn't it? Mukti means what? Liberation, freedom from everything, including God. You are using God as a stepping stone if you need it. You can grow with God or without God. This is the only culture on the planet where in any of our Indian languages, there is no word for a heretic. Because we never thought anybody is a heretic. We never imagined that there can be somebody like that. Because we did not have any established belief system. Everybody can do their own thing. Most plural and democratic process for thousands of years. So, the spiritual movements were started for human liberation. This is not about God, it's about you. So when it's about you, we were straightforward enough to address it straight. We said, this is about our liberation, this is about our well-being, this is about our ultimate well-being, not just immediate well-being. So this is a culture which looked at it this way. So it is a complex array of spiritual movements. Many have died, unfortunately. In the yogic system it says, when somebody asks Adi Yogi, how many paths can be there? He says, if you use your system and go, there are only 112. But if you go beyond your system, how many atoms are there in the universe? That many doorways are there. So we gave the freedom to create your own God. There's something called as Ishtadeva. You can choose your God. If you don't like any, you can create one.